Namaskar, good evening. You're watching Nation Wants to Know and I'm Swati Joshi. Well, you'd remember how the Mamata government faced blowback yet again after introducing a new OBC list. While the Mamata Banerjee government had revised its OBC list, the BJP had called it brazen appeasement, pointing out that the majority in the list were Muslim groups. Now, in a setback for the Mamata government, Calcutta High Court has stayed the implementation of West Bengal government's new list of other backward classes. A division bench of justices Tapabrata Chakrabarti and Rajasekhar Mantha said that the interim stay will remain in effect till 31st of July, when the case will be heard next, asking the state government not to take any steps based on the list. Let's in fact take you through some of the scathing observations by the High Court. Remember, the first list was struck down by the High Court. As far as the new list is concerned, the High Court has put a stay on it. Let's take a look at the scathing observations that we were talking about. Observation number 1. It appears that the respondents are proceeding in hot haste. Let's move on. Observation number 2. Attempting to bring in same classes struck down by this court. Observation number 3. Attempting to reintroduce by executive orders, not legislative functions. These are some scathing observations of the High Court. Observation number 4. That too before we can scrutinize the steps taken by the commission. So before the court could scrutinize the commission's job, the state government introduced the same classes again that was struck down by the High Court earlier. Observation number 5. State ought to have placed the reports and the bills before the legislature. So these are the scathing observations of the court. In observation number 6, the court said, and this is a very, very important part, Calcutta High Court says, state proceeding in deliberate violation of this court's verdict dated 22nd May 2024. Now, in the previous order, let's take you through what has transpired before this. In the previous order, the court said that the state was treating Muslim community as a commodity for political ends. The BJP has welcomed the High Court interim order, calling it a setback to Mamata Banerjee's appeasement politics.
राज्य सरकार हर केस में सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाता है, जा सकता है, लेकिन रिलीजियन बेसिस रिजर्वेशन नहीं होता है तो मालूम है सब। जाने दीजिए ना, उन्होंने इलीगल काम किया, उसके लिए विरोध हो रहा है।
And the Calcutta High Court stay proves the point which we have been reiterating, that for Mamata Banerjee, it is not the right of the OBCs and the downtrodden in Bengal which matter. It is only her vote bank which matters. And this is why Mamata Banerjee, in order to reach the peak of appeasement politics, is snatching the right of the deserving OBC candidates and the OBC population in Bengal and inserting and giving it to its vote bank. Bengal will give a befitting reply to this vote bank.
All right. Meanwhile, we have a reaction coming in from Mamata Banerjee, who's responded to the High Court order and has claimed that this is only an interim order and the state government will be taking up the issue legally. Listen in.
আইনের কথা আমি যেহেতু এখনো ইন্টারিম অর্ডারে আছে, ফাইনাল জাজমেন্ট হয়নি। ফাইনাল জাজমেন্ট হলে I cannot criticize the judge, but I can criticize the judgment. ঠিক আছে, এটা কিন্তু ফাইনাল অর্ডার নয়, ওনারা কিছু সাজেশন দিয়েছেন।
Now, based on what the High Court has said, and of course the political reactions, this is the question that we are asking tonight. Is this a bid by Mamata Banerjee government to appease vote bank, and has that been exposed now? You can have your say and cast your vote at Times Now on social media platform X, and we will reveal the results right after the debate. So let's open up the debate and let's go across to our guests. We're joined by Priyanka Tibrewal, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. We have Barrister Kabir Shankar Bose, political analyst, Tausif Ahmed Khan, lawyer and political analyst, and Asif Ansari, political analyst. Good evening to all of you. And I want to first go across to Tausif Ahmed Khan. Can it get more clearer than this? Second list or the new OBC list on which the High Court has put a stay order now. And the last point in the observation where the court says this is a deliberate violation. Is this just for vote bank, Tausif Ahmed?
Swati, first of all, court has given an interim stay. So interim stay is different. Court has not heard the entire contentions of both the parties. There are directions on all sides to file their reply to the affidavit of oppositions. So that is first thing. Secondly, you see what is BJP doing in Bengal and what is BJP doing in other states. In Maharashtra, Odisha, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, I can give you the numbers. OBC list, 261 communities in Maharashtra are OBC according to central list. 200 in Odisha, 200 communities in Odisha are under OBC. In Karnataka it is 199, in Tamil Nadu 181, in Bihar 136. But in Bengal they are fighting. The existing list that classifies OBC communities are 66 classes under West Bengal. Why should it be only 66 in Bengal and then 261 in Maharashtra?
You know, Tausif, you
That
can
is the
bring in the
hypocrisy of
BJP
BJP.
later.
That is what they
You
want.
can bring in the
Each
BJP
state
later.
government. Just,
If
I'm
there are
not
wrongdoings in the BJP
Swati, I'm
state,
not
it should be...
finished.
No,
I'm
let
not
me finish my point, Tausif. I'm saying you can bring in the BJP later and ask questions of the BJP. And if there are wrongdoings happening in the BJP rule state, they should also be taken to court, and let's see what the courts say. But respond to the question that I'm asking you about the scathing observations, where the court says that the same classes that were struck down by this very court have been introduced again, and even before the court can take note of what the commission has done.
Look, what court has before it is a result of the survey conducted by a commission, which is a statutory body, an independent body, following the guidelines which are set by the court itself. The parameters, the economic condition survey and everything is set by the court, which is followed by the commission, and therefore the result of it is now, which has been challenged by
But
BJP.
the court is also saying this is a deliberate
BJP is playing
violation.
Politics over it. It is naturally, Swati, I'm not finished. Please, Swati, please do not interfere. See, the basic idea behind OBC classification is to identify the communities which are educationally and socially backward. Now, in Bengal, this very BJP says there are more than 30% population is Muslim. So obviously, there will be Muslim communities found to be backward educationally and socially.
But
So
the
what is
point
this
that
fuss
they
about?
are raising is, why is it
We
that most
cannot
of them belong to only a
identify
particular
Muslims and keep
community?
them away.
That is the problem in the first list and the
Yes,
new list
because
as well. And do not forget, Tausif, what the court said while striking down the old list. They said the people of the Muslim community are being used as a commodity. Now let me bring in Priyanka Tibrewal. Priyanka Tibrewal, Tausif Ahmed goes back to what is happening in the BJP rule states. They say you have a problem in West Bengal because you're only interested in politics.
See, I will speak about West Bengal because the order here, which we are speaking about today, comes from the High Court here in West Bengal. Now, Tausif, and similarly, we saw Mamata Banerjee, you know, whenever any kind of order comes where it is a setback for the government, they blatantly come and lie openly on the television, because Tausif was right when he said that, you know, backward classes. So these are these backward classes whom Mamata Banerjee thinks are illiterate. That is why she tries to lie on the open television and says that this is just an interim order, nothing is final. No, it is an order where it has been openly said that this kind of appeasement, this kind of haste has been the nature of the West Bengal government. And why this appeasement? That is the vote bank politics. Nothing. See, this government thinks that they are above law. They are ignoring the orders. Now, he was saying, you know, that certain things was done by the High Court. No, all the notifications which the government had bought after the passing of this order, although the government feels that, you know, the orders which are passed by the High Court, they do not care for the orders and they pass notifications, all have been struck off. Not just that, initially also by the order, 77 communities and 37 under 2012 Act, when they had passed all that illegally, that was struck down. Now, certain things were declared in the order passed by the High Court, where they had said that if this kind of reintroduction has to be done in the OBC reservations, so they had stated that certain principles have to be followed.
Okay.
First was to build public consensus. Second was that furnish a detailed list. Most importantly, it was said that, you know, specifying that which sections should qualify for OBC, giving reasons.
Right.
The government sat tight on it. They did nothing about it. Moreover, it was also said that you issue proper notifications and present the list before the Legislative Assembly, where it can be discussed and explanations can be given for inclusion and exclusion, giving reasons. The government didn't do anything as such, and they thought that they will work according to their own whims and fancies, and that is what exactly the High Court has stated today.
Okay.
That what was the haste?
Yes.
The haste was, we can see what
let me bring in
Tausif
Asif
was trying
Ansari.
to say.
Asif Ansari, BJP is saying this hot haste because elections are nearing, because you're worried about your vote bank. Nobody has a problem when you're trying to uplift the backward classes. But the BJP is alleging that you're trying to bring in religion in the garb of this OBC list.
Well, Swati, I must start with some of the brushes of last thing, that there is a Success Committee report of 2006, which was the last and the latest one, where it says that the socio-economic and the educational backwardness of the Muslim community in the West Bengal, which has been rated as the worst condition of a Muslim all across India. Even the Gujarat, where is only 15% of the Muslim population, and there is a 5.10% of reservations in education sectors, in employment, and in other infrastructures. But if you see the state of a minority in West Bengal, it is less than 2.5%. That was the stats of Success Committee. Now, to uplift any of the community, we need a social reformation and social upliftment through giving a reservation. Then when Mamata Banerjee is already, there are 66 OBC subcasts are there, and she wants to add more 77, that will be included around 140 subcasts. Whereas my co-panelist, Mr. Tausif Ahmed, has already said there are more than 250 subcasts in the other state of the India, which is ruled by the BJP. When it has come to the West Bengal, why the opposition
Asif
are connecting?
Asif Ansari, 1 second. The BJP has not struck down the list, or the BJP has not put a stay on it. We're talking about the court's observations that says the respondents are proceeding in hot haste. The court says in its observation, sir, that there is a deliberate violation.
The petitioner, it's the people.
Today the LOP, Suvendu Adhikari has said that please induct me as a party of the petitioner. So who is going to upholding, who is putting the fuel in the
Yes, sir, but the court does not give interim stay and observations because BJP wants to be part. No. 1 second, sir. 1 second. Asif Ansari ji, the court will not give observations and interim stay because Swati wants to be part of the case as a petitioner, or BJP wants to be part of the case as a petitioner. Just look at the scathing observations. It's about the court giving these observations. Or do they not matter to you? Do they not matter to you?
When you are calling it's a non-political issue and the court is taking a total observation and the petitioner has applied in a apex court, in a Supreme Court, then why BJP is playing a politics over here?
And the matter is pending in the Supreme Court. Again, I said, you want to drag in the BJP every single time. You have no answers to give on the question that this is not what the BJP is saying. This is what the court is saying. Barrister Kabir Shankar Bose.
That is a problem of
Okay, let me bring in Barrister Bose now. Let me bring in Barrister Bose. Barrister Bose, it's an interim stay, yes. But look at the scathing observations. Should they not be taken seriously because this is an interim stay?
Yeah. So Swati, let's just go step by step. In the earlier round, the scathing observation of the High Court was that the reservations were done on religious grounds, for religious appeasement, and the state government had usurped the powers of the legislature and given itself the power to make reservations. On these two basic grounds, the earlier list was struck down. The state government went to Supreme Court. They informed the Supreme Court that yes, we'll be doing a survey. In utter contempt of Supreme Court, without any regard for the Supreme Court, they don't even inform the Supreme Court what they do. They straight away go and they issue notifications. Now, this is where the High Court comes in the second round, which is what we are discussing now. And the High Court says that there is extreme haste. Why the haste? Now, this is my opinion. It's because elections are in the offing. The state goes to elections next year, and to appease this has happened. The state usurped the power. The High Court struck that down. in utter disregard, they again publish the notifications. They do not follow what the judgment asked them to do in the first place. Now, to answer Mr. Ansari is because I was joined in during the hearing, why the LOP, Mr. Adhikari, has said that the Advocate General for the state of Bengal repeatedly argued that when the notifications were tabled, not a single member opposed. That is wrong. And that is why the LOP has said he actually gave a notice. He wanted to raise it. It's a wrong submission. And that is why the LOP has said he wants to clarify the stand. There was a notice given for discussion which was disregarded. So all this put together, it's absolutely clear. The appeasement politics of the Mamata-led government has been now seen through, public is seen through, and moreover the court has seen through. They cannot say it's an interim order and try to get away with it. It's the observations of the Honorable Court which has to be seen. Whether it will fructify into a final order, that's for a later argument. But today it is absolutely clear, utter haste, utter disregard of the High Court and the legislative procedure.
Tausif, respond. It's vote bank politics which has been exposed.
No, you see, first of all, the earlier order of the High Court which is passed is pending, is under challenge before the Supreme Court. And this entire exercise of survey taken by the Commission, already the Supreme Court was apprised of that, because Supreme Court had set a deadline to complete the survey within 3 months. And the Supreme Court was apprised by the Commission that they are going to undertake this survey. And once the survey report came, it was placed before the legislature, state legislature, and it was duly passed in the state legislature. So all this objection, is merely political rhetoric and nothing else.
So is the observation also a rhetoric?
Is the BJP is taking a different stand in other states. Sir, BJP is taking a different stand.
And you can challenge. Go ahead, challenge BJP. Drag them to the courts.
OBC list.
Drag the BJP to the court.
They wanted to restrict it to 60%.
But do not reduce this to just a rhetoric, because my question is that is the observation also part of the political rhetoric then?
No, it's not about political rhetoric. This entire process is under the Supreme Court observation.
Okay.
This exercise is being completed, the survey is being done and following by the
I want to bring in Priyanka Tibrewal, because at the face of it, as far as the observations and today's developments are concerned, or the interim stay is concerned, the courts definitely do not agree with that argument. Priyanka.
Definitely it would not agree, because each and everyone in West Bengal can clearly see the picture of appeasement which is being practiced here by the TMC government. Now, why this appeasement, this lurement, and is being done for the Muslim community by dangling the OBC reservation as a bait is vote. Because 2026 there are elections, and Mamata Banerjee wants to prove it to the Muslims. Although again I will repeat what Tausif said, that Muslims are the most backward class here. So what Mamata Banerjee also thinks the same. And that is why she's trying to show them that, see, I am outright going to do anything. Doesn't matter whatever the court says. Doesn't matter whatever Supreme Court says. I will do this for you from in my personal capacity. But she forgets that illiteracy will not prevail. There has to be a stoppage.
Okay, I have to wrap up, Mr. Bose. I can just give you a couple of seconds, Mr. Bose. Only a couple of seconds.
The point of haste by Calcutta High Court is also bolstered by the argument of the National Commission for Backward Classes.
Yes.
Because their lawyers stood up and said for 1.5 years they are asking for data, which the government doesn't give them. But they go on to publish this list. This also shows the haste and the vote bank politics.
All right. So you're saying that shows the haste. That's an observation of the court as well. The face-off is intensifying with now political blame game that has begun in West Bengal. Thank you very much, Priyanka Tibrewal and gentlemen, for joining us on the broadcast. Let me quickly tell our viewers the result of the question that we asked. This is the poll survey we did, and this is the question we asked. Mamata Banerjee's bid to appease vote bank exposed. 88.3% people have voted yes, while 11.7% people have voted no. And with that, we are slipping into a very short break. We're wrapping up this edition of Nation Wants to Know.